Ever boot up the latest blockbuster game, stare at the gorgeous graphics, the realistic shadows, the billion-dollar marketing budget, and within an hour, you're bored? Yeah, me too. And it's not because we're getting old or don't have time for games anymore. Well, some of us are, but no, it's because modern AAA games, for all their money and manpower, somehow manage to feel completely empty inside. These games have the graphics of a Hollywood blockbuster, the budget of a small country's GDP, and yet somehow all the soul of a rice cake. Today we're gonna talk about why modern AAA games feel so hollow, and how we can actually fix them before the whole industry turns into a Netflix originals graveyard. Big publishers think bigger map means better game. It doesn't. Modern AAA devs love to throw around big numbers, over 200 square kilometers of open world to explore, as if that's automatically impressive. But in practice, these maps are often barren, repetitive, and stuffed with meaningless fetch quests. The game industry is not broke. In fact, they're swimming in money. But here's the thing, just like a rich kid who's never had to work for anything, the more they have, the lazier they get. Modern games feel like they were designed by a corporate PowerPoint. Big open world, check. Crafting system, check. 200 meaningless collectibles that make you question your life choices? Double check. That's not player freedom, it's content bloat, a giant buffet of side quests nobody asked for. Older games like Deus Ex or BioShock weren't massive, they were dense. Every corner had story, atmosphere, and choices that mattered. But in modern AAA, that sense of handcrafted meaning gets sacrificed for scale. We end up with a mile-wide, inch-deep puddle of content. Somewhere along the way, game devs decided we're not here to play games, we're here to watch them. Oh, you wanted to shoot the bad guy? Well, sorry. Sit through this 3-minute cutscene where everyone whispers like they're in a bad HBO drama. These studios have fallen in love with cinematic presentation. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a good cutscene. Who doesn't? But when your game spends more time trying to be a Marvel movie than a game, you've lost the plot. We get realistic faces, dramatic camera sweeps, and dialogue trees that feel like they were done by a Netflix writer who's terrified of offending anyone. Gameplay becomes secondary. The interactive part feels like an afterthought. Compare that to Half-Life 2 or Mass Effect 2, where story and gameplay were fused. You weren't just watching events happen, you were living them. AAA today treats you less like a player and more like an easily distracted moviegoer. And then you have the monetization parasite. Loot boxes, battle passes, skins. I swear half these companies spend more time designing microtransactions than actual levels. We went from unlock cool stuff by playing the game to give us $5 or wear the starter rags forever. That's the cancer of aggressive monetization. Once upon a time, you bought a game and that was it. No battle passes, no premium currency, no pay $4.99 for your horse to wear sunglasses. Today, even single-player games are infected with microtransactions. They're designed to push you toward grinding or spending money, often both. And this absolutely guts immersion. Instead of being in the world, you're thinking about your wallet. Remember The Witcher 3? A massive, rich world with zero nickel and diming. Now compare that to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where you can drop $60 on the base game and still be prompted to buy XP boosts so the game you bought is playable. Yeah. So why did this happen? Well, AAA publishers operate like terrified bureaucrats. They won't greenlight anything unless it's a sequel, a remake, or a safe genre trend. Games used to experiment. Thief, System Shock, Shadow of the Colossus. Now it's about recycling the same formula with a different coat of paint. This obsession with safe design creates a culture where nothing truly groundbreaking gets through, only the market-tested sludge. Ironically, This is why indie games have been eating AAA's lunch in terms of creativity. Look at Hades, Disco Elysium, or Outer Wilds. They feel alive because they're made by teams willing to take risks. It's not that devs forgot how to make good games, it's that these studios got too big, too safe, and too addicted to quarterly earnings. Games are now products, not passions. When you've got a boardroom of guys who've never touched a controller deciding creative direction, you end up with a game with no soul. Gamers are adults now. We have jobs, we have families. We don't have 60 hours to collect glowing mushrooms in a swamp just to unlock a slightly shinier sword. Design with purpose. Make every mission mean something. Remember when mechanics were king? Halo didn't need crafting. Doom didn't have stealth shrubbery. Mario never asked you to upgrade your mustache stats. Focus on the core fun loop, then build around it, not bury it under 14 upgrade trees. It's wild that in 2007 you'd pay $60 and get a complete game. In 2025, you're paying $70 for early access DLC simulator. The fix: sell the whole goddamn game. Save the drip feed nonsense for your Instagram. Indie games keep eating AAA's lunch because they can experiment without shareholders breathing down their necks. Let your devs get weird. Let them make a game that might fail, because that's where the next big hit comes from. At the end of the day, modern AAA games aren't dying because they lack money. They're dying because they lack heart. The best games, the ones we remember decades later, didn't just give us something to do. They gave us something to feel. So here's my challenge to the industry. Stop chasing the next cash grab and start chasing the next classic. Because if you keep serving us hollow, overpriced, trend-chasing clones, well, we'll just keep going back to Skyrim. Again, and again, and again.